I got like a bunch of different flavors, and so you get the cans, and you get a case full of cans, and like, dude, I picked up one of the cans, and I'm like, this feels light. Like this doesn't feel like a full can. I'm like, is there a hole in it? No holes, no nothing. And
It's just like fizzy water, right? That's all it is.
yeah, it's sparkling water. Yeah, it's nothing crazy. It's just they put it in cans instead of bottles because
It's
they're like,
like the cool youth pastor of fizzy drinks.
yeah, it's a cool youth
It's
fest.
got like a backwards hat on. Like, what?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
fizzy water. Come on.
Oh man, I wish I knew, but like I should have brought out my record, Liquid Death's Greatest Hits. But the point is I pick up the can, it's like super light, and I'm like, there's no hole in it, no nothing, and I crack it open, like it's brand new,
Mm.
makes the so on, but it was like a quarter, maybe a third empty.
You've been
Two
poisoned.
different,
You
two
shouldn't have
different.
drank that.
Oh, I didn't drink that one. I didn't drink those. It was two different cans for two different cases. But
Huh.
they Venmoed me $10. They're like, yo, you're in trouble. I'm like, nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're so youthful and using Venmo. But by the way, so you're making fun of Liquid Death, whatever. They have three albums where they took their like terrible reviews or like hate mail or like messages on Instagram and turned them into songs.
oh, I love that. Oh, I want to do it so much. That's the only reason I want this show to grow at all,
Yeah,
just for the hate mail, and we can
I've been
we can play our game, Alex, that we used to play when we were at
yeah.
Sideshow. Is this a
Yeah.
DMV review or a review of our show? You want to know? I promised you something. You want to know how I've been preparing for this?
Yeah, please tell me.
I have been so busy at work. It's just there's just
Mhm.
been a lot going on, and so I have had trouble motivating myself to really, really just keep at it. But nothing has motivated me more than this song and this band that I've listened to. I've listened to the first album. I'm going to share it here.
Oh boy.
It is fantastic. This is Keelhauled, which I think might be a bad word. I'm not sure.
I can tell you what it means later, but yes.
It's Keelhauled by Aelstrom, and it is pirate metal, dude.
Oh yeah. This I know the label and everything.
Ready? All right. One, the outfits. Two,
Absolutely.
it's like if the Dropkick Murphys had scurvy.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, uh, just to put this out there, by the way, Liza, who's in the chats,
I love it.
Liza will say in the chats, they are on her regular rotation. I can't. Why isn't my mouse moving? But that's another thing. But yeah, her regular rotation. We have talked about this before. Napalm Records.
Napalm Records. That's right. Yeah.
Puts out some of the most fun metal. You've never heard Angus McFife? I mean, seriously, bro.
I'm gonna be honest. No, Alec. I discovered Aelstrom last night. When I was listening to ambient, pirate music pretty much while I was working, and then it ended. Like it was like a 9-hour playlist, and it ended. And then Aelstrom came on because, well, that's just how it rolls here on my ship.
You just lost the thread of your own thing.
I did.
So did the pirates inspire you to shave that mustache? I'm guessing too, huh? Because you've got a lot in comments about the mustache.
Yeah, thank you. Let's talk about the shaved mustache. My mustache is gone. Yeah, I sometimes pull people over and ask them for their license and registration, and they're just like, "You're clearly not a cop, and you're in a Ford Fusion. The hell are you doing?" Yeah, it's very odd. But hi everyone. If you did make it, welcome in to Fandom Social. I am Paul Hernandez, and look it's Mr. Alex Ahoy Ahoynovich.
Ahoynovich.
I was trying to get Ahoy in there.
Okay, Ahoynovich. Okay, so you're Paul Hernandez, and I have to be Alex Ahoynovich. Okay.
Well, yeah.
It sounds like a legit. It sounds like a Eastern European Jewish name, so I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Welcome in, everyone. We have a fun show, and actually, whenever she can get her ass in gear, Autumn is joining us She's got new equipment. It's been a while, so Autumn will be here in a bit. Daniel as well. Daniel's in traffic. Autumn's getting some tech stuff sorted, and of course, me and Alex are hoisting the sails. I'm gonna run out of ship stuff real quick.
That song, by the way,
That's hoisting
which
sails.
which we can get to later, but I've listened to a lot of covers of that song from what the heck's the name of the movie? It's the third one. What's the third movie called?
At World's End.
At World's End. Yeah, the song
Right.
that kicks off that thing. There's bands that do covers of those types of songs, and man, that song slaps. Are we still doing slaps?
I don't think so. If we have any representatives of the youth community, does music still slap?
Right.
Does pirate music stab?
Maybe it stabs.
Yeah.
Maybe it keel hauls. So, Paul, keel hauling is?
We're getting further from being cool.
Yeah. So keel hauling is they tie ropes to your feet, they tie ropes to your hand, they basically throw you overboard and drag you under the length of the ship and bring you up. And you most of the time you just drown at that point or for shock, but they're basically scraping your body against the barnacles underneath the ship. That's like a torture thing.
Are barnacles sharp? I don't know much about barnacle. I didn't prep a barnacles document for this show.
Barnacles, and they don't count as cryptids because they are real. Barnacles are basically like it's got a hard shell. There's like a little animal in it, and it's a hard shell, like a calcium shell, like a clam. But when they're underneath the thing, it's really hard and like will cut you. So.
Get a pan up to a nice boil, a little bit of garlic butter, toss it over some noodles. Can you eat barnacles? Let us know in the chats. Let us know in the chats if you can eat barnacles. If you've ever eaten barnacles and you're typing, you're alive, so we can eat barnacles.
We can eat barnacles. And I also want to know your barnacle recipe. You could just skip your life story before the recipe. Just straight to the recipe.
Yeah.
I don't want to know about grandma's dog. I don't care. Give me the recipe. What are you putting? Butter, salt. That's it.
That's all it is.
That's all it is.
I don't need to know how many that Snowball 3 is barely alive and it needs a GoFundMe. All right, this has gone on long enough. Hey everyone, welcome in. All right, we've got a good show today. Up first, we're gonna do a trailers that break down Alex. I found a fun one. And then we're going to be going over the box office breakdown of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. We will be breaking it down in terms of success. So 5 being the least financially successful, 1 being the most. And each time that we do sort of show one, we'll say where it ranks on our personal lists. Right now, it's just me and Alex, but it probably will vary a little bit. And then lastly, we've got a content potluck. We've all brought some fun stuff to share with everyone. And then I know. Just don't laugh. Don't laugh. I know what you brought, and I'm very nervous to see it.
Okay.
It is horrifying. So, hi everyone. Welcome in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let us know if there's any other franchises or movies or top 5 box offices, subjects you guys would like us to cover. It helps. We've got kind of a backlog of ideas, but we're always happy to put some stuff up to the front. It helps if you pay us too. Money talks. We're telling you, as soon as Disney gives us the word, we're selling out. We're done. All right. So with that, Alex, let's do a trailer that breaks you down. As you guys all know, Alex is a bit of he's a real rapscallion. Oh man, I'm feeling good. Is that not bad?
Rapscallion sounds too much like a troublemaker. I'm not a troublemaker.
Ooh, rapscallion sounds like something you put in barnacles.
In a barnacle stew.
Rapscallions. Oh, sounds fantastic. Okay, so with that, you can eat the foot of the barnacle. Tastes similar to razor clams. I don't want to eat anything with razor in it.
They're all very sharp.
No, nope.
I don't want to eat feet.
We're just gonna not eat them. I'll just stick with my butter noodles. Thank you very much. All right, so this trailer is one, Alex, that I watched just this morning, as I tend to do. I usually go back and forth. The one that I did find that we're not going to do is the Julie Louis-Dreyfus new movie that's coming out. It's like a serious movie. It's an A24 film, I believe, called Tuesday, where her daughter is dying. And they've got this mythical parrot, and she plays this mother who's trying to cope with her daughter dying. And there is also this parrot there that is helping her deal with grief. And I was
Okay.
like, maybe that's a little heavy for the show. So
Okay, yeah, it seems a little. I don't want to break down crying.
Instead, what we are doing is one that I'm very excited for. We will be watching the trailer. This is the first trailer for Tarot. You ready, Alex?
No, it's muted.
12 cards in a circle. One more at the heart. With this final card, your reading will start.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, this whole deck's kind of strange.
Where did you find
Her
him?
voice is funny to me.
It's an unspoken rule not to use somebody else's cards.
Who cares? Who's going first?
Follow one rule to stay out of danger.
It
Hello?
looks like your hair right now, Alex.
You're never to deal with a deck that is strange.
Let's do this.
The Hermit. Magician.
Oh God. Oh, okay.
Reason for death. Whose face will you see?
That was pretty metal. I'm gonna be honest. That was pretty cool.
No.
Good.
No. No. That's a big no. It's going to be a big no for me. I
Here's-
mean, the highlight of this trailer was that they were showcasing the new Kia Sorrento's
Yeah.
collision detection. Like, come on, man.
spirit detection.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
That's
There's
the
no. If you don't hit a spirit, you're not gonna hit a curb.
yeah. Oh,
My only concern with this is like tarot's fun, right? It's like it's like it's not all spooky and deadly like that. Like it's got a bad misconception, I think.
I
And
mean-
this doesn't really help propel that any further.
Yeah, I mean, I got tarot decks. I have like a couple. I just collect them for the art, like 'cause
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
dope.
I don't believe in magic or anything like that. So to me, they're not fun. They're not anything. They're just like they got cool art or they don't have cool art. And otherwise, don't talk.
That's what I'm saying too. I was like, it's
Yeah.
all hokum, pardon my
Yeah.
language, but
Yeah.
it's like, so it's just funny.
But-
I do want to
but
buy
it's
a
like-
Kia Sorrento now.
Listen, it's like Ouija boards, right? Like, oh my God, I'm gonna get killed by this thing made by the people who made Monopoly. It's
I-
Operation. No, Connect Four.
Oh,
Connect Four was a
Operation?
horror movie?
by the team that did Saw.
Yes, Operation TV. So Connect
what I meant.
Four by the people who did, Knives Out. Connect
They-
Four.
Alex, they made a Connect
Maker-
4 movie. Do you know what it was called?
What?
The Human Centipede.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. All right, show's over, everyone. We're not going to talk.
All right. Hey, no respect. All right, everyone. Hey, well, welcome in if you did just get in here. Terry Smith. Hello, my friend. Look at that stern face he's got on. He
I know
said,
he's.
are we going to talk about the Ask a Ninja review of Dead Man's Chest? If not, this live stream is incomplete. Terry Smith, I have no idea what that means. I don't know
Yeah.
these weird subsections of YouTube that you're on.
And he's looking at us very seriously. I feel like he took this picture as he was writing the comment. He changed
Mhm.
his picture just to look at us with this judgmental face. He's like,
Yeah, that sounds right. That sounds
Yeah.
right. Everyone, that is trailers that break down Alex. We did have a request to do another one. Alex, if you have some time, have you seen the trailer for Monkey Man?
no,
No?
What the heck are you? No, I don't watch trailers, man. I told you.
That's true. You don't. It is funny because I watched all of them. So let me find it really quick. Alex, give me just a moment. Why don't you tell everyone what you thought about the tarot? Will you be watching it? Is that something you'll use
That is-
one of your 3 movies a week for as an AMC
I
Studs
am-
member to see?
I'm not an AMC Stubs member. I'm a Regal Unlimited, and I will not be using it for that. And by the way, just to reiterate about how I don't watch trailers, I was actually very, very, very upset. I went to go see American Fiction, which was a fantastic movie, but because it was like a dinner and a movie with a friend thing, we got to the movie theater like early, so like I had time to like wait online to get popcorn and get in time for the trailers. And I was so upset watching all the trailers. It was terrible. It was a bad experience. I wasn't happy.
But the movie's good. American Fiction is great, right?
American Fiction is great, yeah.
Fantastic.
But I had to suffer through like some really bad trailers to watch it. So
That's
except
worth
Abigail, I'm okay with now after seeing the trailer.
right? Now you're in.
I'm on board.
I just want to see a ballerina vampire just kill a bunch of people. Yeah. I'm a simple man. Sometimes I want Zone of Interest. Sometimes I want vampire ballerinas. I'm a man of many shades. Yeah. Mostly brown. Okay, so Monkey Man, Alex, is I don't know if this is someone can fact check me. I haven't really looked at this, but I think it's the directorial debut of Dev Patel. He's also starring in the film. You'll recognize him almost immediately, but also this is part of Monkey Paw Productions, which is Jordan Peele's production company.
All right, so it's already elevated now. I wish you didn't tell me any of that.
It is sort of like how they pitch it in an interview that they did with Variety, like Bollywood John Wick, but with a little bit of Indian like lore built in. If very similar to how like they had like with the Baba Yaga, Monkey Man is very similar. But yeah, he stars, wrote, and directed. Dev Patel did. So
I love
very much.
Already elevated.
All right. So with that, I think because we've got a little bit of time, we're doing okay.
Just play it, Paul. Just play it.
I know. It is my job.
You're still talking
on the show.
Just push play.
I want to. Here we go. All right.
Audio.
And you will find yourself.
That's so rich. Also,
when I was a boy, my mother used to tell me a story
Hanuman.
of a demon king and his army. They brought fire and terror to the land until they faced the protector of the people, the white monkey.
There you are. You are a beast.
In this city, the rich don't see us as people. Give me the job no one wants to do. I'll do it.
Anyone who forgets their place, it doesn't turn out well for them.
This is not the place to work if you can't handle that sort of stuff.
Every day, I've prayed for a way to protect the weak.
I've got an answer to every prayer. I call her Nikki. Minaj, big bumper, nice headlights. Let's boogie.
One, young, two, you, 1, 2, 3.
Physical comedy.
You need to fight for your mother, for all of us.
Anger will not quiet your soul, my son.
Don't call me son.
It's time to remember who you are.
But only love kills more when will they learn.
Just one small ember can burn down everything.
Fuck you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Are you ready for a fight? 1, 2, 3.
Here.
That's cool.
That looks good, right?
Yeah. I'm not crazy into action movies,
Yeah.
but
Fight core.
if you do I like mythology.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So tapping into that a little bit, I like that there was a little bit of with the trees and the branches and everything like that in that one scene where she's like, "Come to the room, check it out, whatever's going on." But I think I could get behind watching a movie like that more than like a John Wick movie doesn't get me because he's just like he has no emotions the entire time. Where
Yeah.
someone's
The
his-
tuk drifting plus like just some of the beauty in like a lot of the shots of like when he's pulling off the mask itself as well. Like, dude, it's incredible.
Yeah.
So yeah, Monkey Man, April. I think again, with being Monkey Paw, it'll get a wide release. It's not going to be like one of those like short ones, like small release windows. So it's very exciting. I think if there's ever a film that's going to finally have like a stunt category for the Oscars, like if John Wick couldn't do it, like this is a film that could do it. I think Jordan Peele has like the weight behind his name to do it.
because he's got a campaign for it too. Everyone's like,
Mhm.
he's got a campaign for that Oscar. By the way, someone had just said, Steve Nara actually said it was originally going to be a straight to something release, straight to video, straight to streaming, but he decided to wide release it.
Oh,
Yeah, he did. So,
well, just in time. Ahoy!
ahoy!
Oh,
Arr!
hey, yo ho ho.
What's up? Your mic
Wow.
volume is real low, by the way.
Okay, how about hold on. How about now?
Nope, no
From Soul
change.
Brother, no,
How about now?
No,
no.
you want to just keep getting closer to the camera? Maybe that'll help.
How about now?
Still the same, but
Oh my gosh. I love
Autumn,
this journey for me. Let me see what I can do.
who dat? Them Bengals.
by the way, this is a reunion between
How about
Charlton.
this?
Better,
Better?
much
Okay,
better.
go
A
ahead.
little bit.
And just like Autumn is reuniting with the two of us, that movie is reuniting Sharlto Copley and Dev Patel, because I saw Sharlto was the guy who's like, "Who wants to fight?" And they were in Chappie together.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
Chappie. Right.
Chappie.
That movie.
Chappie.
Chappie.
Well, hi.
So what are we
Just in
what are we
time.
talking about?
Well, we're talking
Pirates.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Ooh. I've been
Pirates of the
watching
Carrot
a lot-
Beings.
Lots
Mhm.
and lots of pirates the last
Did-
several days.
Did you finish them all?
I sure didn't. I got almost to the end of the 5th movie, and then I was
Okay.
like having
It's hard.
technical difficulties.
It
And
is hard.
yeah.
By the way, the first point I would like to bring, all 5 of these movies have in common is none of them are rated R.
God damn it.
But they all take place on the sea.
Oh. See? No?
All
Did you
right. Well,
miss
we're
me,
going to move
Paul?
in to our next segment, which is our box office breakdown of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
All right.
All right. So as we did last time, Autumn, this is your first time doing it. I'm going to run through some information about it. We're going to go in order from least successful to most successful. Then afterwards, you'll tell us where it ranks for you.
Okay.
Like 1 being your favorite, 5 being your least favorite. So where it lands in the box office has nothing to do with your preference.
Nothing has anything to do with me. Got it.
So up first. Maybe one of you want to bring on, because Daniel's being a bum and is not here. Bring on the assets as
Okay.
I'm mentioning it. So the very first film, technically the least monetarily successful, is Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, which is the first movie. It was released July 9th, 2003. It earned worldwide $655 million. It has an 8 out of 10 user review. These are all pulled from IMDb out of 1.2 million reviews, but a 63 out of 100 on Metacritic. And it opened up against the following movies during its initial run.
Taking this
Finding-
down so we can see Autumn. There you go.
Finding
This
Nemo
was the least successful.
financially, yeah,
Wow, I'm shocked.
yeah.
More
Well,
than 5?
hear this. I mean, even
Okay.
adjusted for inflation, like it may squeak into fourth of the franchise, but it is definitely
Wish they would be.
Yeah.
They would have been improved.
they would have been.
Yeah.
So what else
Okay,
was it? It was
so they
Finding
opened
Nemo.
up against Finding Nemo, Terminator 3: Rise of Machines, Bad Boys 2, and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
And this
The
is
League
just
of
box
Extraordinary
office
Gentlemen.
earnings, not like overall earnings. Just box office.
Box office earnings gross worldwide. It doesn't. None
Okay.
of these account for like merchandise sold, like
Yeah.
all
Blockbuster
in
video
all.
rentals, any of that.
No, definitely not. From the one Blockbuster alive in where was it, in like Oregon somewhere?
It said plus 842 from the Blockbuster in Oregon.
$842.
And by the way, out of all of the movies released that it was up against, I've only seen Finding Nemo and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Are you not a Terminator person?
I didn't want to watch Terminator 3. The thing looked like a train wreck.
No.
We should do. Paul, put it on the list.
Oh, damn. You know how much stuff is backlogged?
But just put it on the list because I've
All
never
right.
seen Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines. This is my opportunity to hate it in real time.
Hate it for content. Tenchi says no one knew what to expect when it first started being Pirates of the Caribbean. Then people knew for the sequels. That's absolutely true. It was a freaking lightning in a bottle. And I think it's something that Disney was unprepared for.
I am shocked that it did not outperform number 4. I found number 4 to be
there is a
phoned in.
huge caveat with one, I think, is that it didn't have a wide release in China.
Okay.
So as we'll see as we go through the rest of these films, China specifically saved a lot of these films from being complete financial black eyes on the company
They're
itself.
huge in China, is what you're saying.
They are huge in China. A lot of these movies, specifically, like it happens all the time, like it happened with Iron Man 3, look it up. There are entirely new scenes, like an additional 15 minutes filmed just for China. But that didn't happen for the first or second one. But for the third, fourth, and fifth, that did happen. Yeah, there's a whole thing. If you go down a rabbit hole, there's a whole scene in Iron Man 3 that has been reshot where there's these two like really famous, it's like the Julia Roberts and Brad Pitt in China actors who are the ones that actually took out the shrapnel out of Tony Stark's heart.
So they like reshot for a different region?
Completely reshot it. It's obviously not RDJ. Reshot it. And, it was sort of, they also did like a pro-military. But there's also this weird thing about selling milk in that movie because there was a huge poison batch of milk that happened with for formula for mothers, and babies got sick. So people weren't buying milk. So the milk industry was tanking. So they sold milk in this movie. And that's all you would see these like actors drinking. Do yourself a favor, after the show, look up the reshoots for Iron Man 3 in China. It is ridiculous.
Oh my gosh.
I'm putting it on my list.
If you didn't know by now, I live alone. So
and we're still only in the first. We haven't even gotten through the box office.
No, we haven't.
Yet.
Oh my God. Fast and the Furious. I don't know if we could do. I mean, we have the patience and the means to do it. But there's 10 movies now, 11, I think, if you count Hobbs and Shaw.
On my list to watch them all. I've only seen part of one. So
I just watched the 5th one for the first time Tuesday. That's arguably like one of the better ones. I've seen Tokyo Drift, and which is the newest one.
I've seen one, and I've seen Hobbs and Shaw.
I'm going to rate them as best to worst, having seen only some of, I'm not sure even which one. So it's going to be 3, 7, 1, 5, 2, 10, 8, 4, and then 6.
That's just your phone number, Autumn.
I was going to say,
You're just repeating your phone number.
I'm just saying.
8, 6, 7, 5, 3,
3, and then 0.
Oh, and then 9. Yeah, also it had 5 Oscar nominations though. The first movie, including one for Johnny Depp as best lead actor. He didn't win. The other 4 nominations were in technical categories, but it didn't win in any of the technical categories because this other little movie came out called Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Oh,
That
Which
little
sorry.
indie darling.
Wept the Oscars.
Well, doesn't that mean what's his face had a pretty big year that year? Will Turner?
Orlando Bloom.
Yeah,
That is exactly why
everything was coming up Orlando that year.
it was all
You didn't win a
Bloom.
damn thing.
You know, you didn't want to go for
Everything was
Bloom.
blooming.
Everything was coming up all Blooms.
No,
It was right
Yeah.
there.
no.
But yeah, it was very interesting. He was chosen for the first movie because the success of the second movie, like he was much more bankable than I forget who the other actor was. It was between 2 of them, but he was more bankable, and they were absolutely right. Like it was a huge year for Orlando Bloom. Massive.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean and the Black Pearl. Where does that rank on your favorites list? 1 being your favorite, 5 being your least favorite.
Me, it's 1.
It's 2.
2 for you?
But I've mixed. It ties for 1 and 2, and I'll tell you.
I'll tell
Well,
you.
yeah, it's number 1 for me as well. I mean, without a doubt, I think probably the most like succinct movie. It's got the best plot. It's also I've think I've seen the first one maybe 3 or 4 times now, just like since it's been out.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's also the most reined in that Johnny Depp is in, like that Johnny Depp is, because once you get to the 5th one, you're like, Jesus. Oh my God, it's so much Jack Sparrow.
Yeah, he's so tired of playing this role, or so overly comfortable in this role that he has to really push it. I think I don't know. It was a lot.
Yeah,
it was.
Plus,
it was
we watched them all back to back so fast. It was like I get it. I get your whole thing, and I'm set with it now.
Never again, please. Never
again.
He
definitely he created this role, thinking I'm never gonna have to do this dumb role again. It was so crazy, but I'm curious where it ranks for everyone else as far as your favorites.
Well, this is his first, also number 1.
Says, I think 1 is my favorite overall, but some of my most favorite scenes in the franchise are in 3.
Okay, I'm right there with you, Tenchi. That is why I kind of say it ties, because I feel like the 3rd one was the hardest to get through, but also had some of my favorite scenes. I love the beginning and I love the end of number 3 so much. The whole middle, I honestly had to keep going back, and I had to read like what is happening and what does everybody want and why are they doing what they're doing. It was so complicated, but the end was so worth it. Like the whole, basically the last third of the movie was really worth it. So it kind of ties for first place with me, just because of the great stuff that was happening at the beginning and end of that movie. But the middle was, so I'm right there with you, Tenchi.
Yeah. Interesting.
Solid joke from Alexis. He really got the doubloon. That's a good doubloon joke.
Yes,
solid doubloon joke. All right, well, we'll move on to the next one. This is the 4th most successful. It is Pirates of the Caribbean: Dead Men Tell No Tales. This is the last in the franchise, or the 5th, released May 26th, 2017, to a total of $795 million. They get a 6.5 out of 10 with 340 user reviews, and it got a 39 out of 100 for Metacritic. It is, and to remind everyone, Metacritic is a compilation of professional reviewers on a number system, and it's sort of collated together. The user reviews are user reviews specifically on the IMDb page. It released up against the following: Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Alien Covenant, and Baywatch. Once again, I've seen all of those.
Yeah.
I've never seen Baywatch.
Oh, Tenchi, you are right. That was a fantastic scene where she's like, come on. While they're all just fighting over the chest.
Oh, and she just like passes out. She passes out to pretend.
Oh, I'm gonna faint, and nobody cares.
Yeah, that was good.
Great.
It did not out earn that year Guardians of the Galaxy.
It did not. Okay.
No,
Shocker.
So, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which is one of my least favorite Marvel MCU movies. I don't like it very much, but you know what?
Are they going to make another one? Are they done?
Guardians or Pirates?
This is Pirates.
No, Pirates.
Go ahead.
Number one, why would you speak that into existence?
Now it's gonna happen. Oh, great!
Now I'm gonna concretize it.
You know, like for all the bro dudes who were like, oh, you know, Amber Heard ruined any chance of it. Like, no, the box office returns ruined any chance of another Pirates movie.
Any chance of what? Like,
I know.
With the stories.
More rum.
How much more mythology can you drag out of the sea like old rotten seaweed?
Oh
yeah, that is literally it. It used
to
be
fired because of her. No, he got fired because they were waiting for an excuse, and they're like, finally.
Yeah,
he broke a rule.
That is literally it. They were just sick of financing these movies, and they were all the same. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I think there was a 6 that was slated, and then that got canned when something happened with Johnny Depp. I don't know. And then there was supposed to be like a spin-off movie that was based around this famous female pirate starring Margot Robbie. And then she didn't do that, and she took on Harley Quinn instead. Yeah. And so yeah.
Is it an Anne Bonny thing?
Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, I think it was a blessing, honestly, Tenchi. Like, we're good. I feel like it's one of those franchises that was already starting to get pounded into the ground, and I think it's a blessing that it got put out of its misery. It's a fun universe, but I get enough.
So again, where I was mentioning earlier to you, Autumn, that it was interesting about the box office numbers and how much the like international, markets, specifically China, helped them at the North American box office. It underperformed significantly, only pulling in $172 million. It had like a $280 million budget, well under budget, and was very unsuccessful. It just didn't work. And then when it was released internationally, it was saved by the international box office, where it grossed $622 million, bringing it to the $795 million total. It got all its investment, they say that with usual films, it's like 2.5 times it has to earn. And it barely broke that only because of the international box. They love them over there.
Yeah, listen. And I get it, because it's, it's a lot of spectacle, and sometimes people just want the spectacle. But like, I think over here we had the fatigue plus the drama of the real life drama. But like, but I'm going to say something, because now you're going to ask the question. Ask the question, Paul. Ask the question.
Where does this film rank on your personal list?
3. For the shocker. 3.
3?
So this is the last movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
despite
wait.
A lot of
3 for me too.
Was it 3?
It was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to say it's 4 or 5 for me.
4 or 5.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't finished it, so I really didn't care about this, whatever it's called, the something seas, the one with the Ponce de Leon and the whole Blackbeard thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
that's not the one we're talking about.
Yeah, that's the 4th one.
Yeah, we're not there yet, Autumn.
Wait. Which one are you talking about right now? We're talking about.
We're still on Dead Men Tell No Tales.
I'm saying it's between this and that one. I'm saying for last place, like it's a tie. I'm saying.
I think you need to do yourself a favor and start writing these down.
Yeah.
No, we were on the same page when I was saying the reason I can't say for sure it's dead last is because I can't really decide if it's that one or the one before that are the worst. Didn't like either one of them.
Yeah, the very end, like the last, because I had to break it up into quarters, because it was just, I was like, geez, the last quarter of that movie, doubloons, I had to break it up into doubloons. The final doubloon was just CGI nightmare. But honestly, I thought there was a lot stronger acting. There was so much less Jack Sparrow.
Yeah.
That it elevated the movie for me. There was so much less Jack Sparrow that I was like, wow.
Who do you care about then? Like, if he's not in it, like, Who do you
Who do I care about?
Like, I don't
I care about the
if anybody
kids.
thinks that chick is a witch. I don't care if that guy drowns trying to get the trident. Like, whatever.
Wow,
It's just another.
rude.
They're
These
so
are people's
cavalier.
lives.
No, in the movie, they're so cavalier with the loss of life. It's everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's so much death. Like, why do I
Oh.
care about these two people? They didn't
But
make me
there's-
care about them.
There's so much. It's weird. There's so much less of it in this movie.
Hmm.
There's so much
Right.
less death.
Yes, Hall. There's a ton of death.
No,
Like, a lot.
But they're like
In the-
they're zombie people. Usually, they are the ones. I mean,
in the last movie,
well, then we're gonna get into semantics
violent,
here.
violently visual deaths, because there was some visually grisly deaths in the first 4 of them.
Flora. Exactly. I think.
And there
Yes,
was, I
go
don't
ahead.
know. I'm just saying there was a lot less visually grisly deaths than there were in the rest
Sure.
of them, which was
You're
to me,
right.
I was like, interesting.
No, but to me, this was worse because it was so much more cavalier. Like, it wasn't portrayed as these grisly deaths. It was just, who cares? It was just death, 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 death. Like, all these soldiers being killed and
Hey.
all of the, like,
Yeah,
like
like Star Wars.
The guy who took over for Blackbeard,
Barbosa.
Also,
Barbosa. So he's like being threatened by the ghost guy, and he's tapping his sword, and every time he taps the sword, someone dies, and it just happens in the background. It means
Yeah.
nothing, and this is the crew that like you've kind of gotten to know, and they're
But
just
it-
dispatched like it's nothing.
they don't kill anyone you know. All the people you know are right up in the.
You know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much offhanded death, whereas in the first ones it was more brutal, and you saw the impact of these murders, these deaths. These ones, it was just nothing. It was like a leaf blowing by. It was nothing, and so that's why I'm saying it was like I didn't.
like
ca-
Star
so why
Wars.
would I care about these particular two kids
Star Wars.
when they don't care?
Millions of people die in Star Wars. You actually they kill a planet. You don't see it. It's like
Multiple planets.
multiple planets. Just blow it up. You don't even
Yes.
see it. There's like
What
Leia's
you're
like,
doing is you're moving the
no.
goalpost on me right now. We're talking about a totally different thing.
We're talking
I'm
pirates, not
saying is-
space.
Okay,
The whole
these are
point of
space
it was,
pirates. Han
why would
Solo.
I care about these two particular people living if they haven't set them up as anyone I particularly care about, and people are dying left and right like it's nothing? Whereas at least in the first movies, when the people were dying, it was gruesome and bloody and shocking, and this is just like death, 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 death. It was meaningless death everywhere. So I don't care
think
about the main characters.
I
that
like
a lot
them.
of that is mostly because of like the budget that they'd had and what they were allowed to shoot within like they can show so much fictional death with a lot of these people because it doesn't really matter. Like they can just CGI their way through the plot, which is why the films weren't really that successful.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. This just happens with so many movies. This is also, these other two movies, really 3, 4, and 5 are in the Marvel era. We cannot stress enough
They're
how
in the Marvel
impactful.
universe? That's crazy.
Mhm.
No,
all
no, really?
they're
Only 2 of them, I thought. No.
no, they are 2008.
Oh, 2. Yeah, because I see 2000. Okay. Yeah. Wow. 3 of them are in the. Wait, which is the third one that's in the Marvel era?
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, 2007.
I think you should write
Okay.
these down, Paul.
Yeah, I think you should write them
I
down.
do.
Anyway,
I wrote them down very carefully.
anyways, for
Um,
me, 3.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Oh,
we're moving
full
on.
screen. You're right. It's always too soon. My bad.
But no,
Um,
to bring up another comment to say, like, I didn't watch
Yeah.
5. 4 kind of killed my interest in continuing the franchise. It wasn't horrible, but it didn't do anything for me.
Yeah.
This was my first time watching 5. Like, I had watched
Mhm.
4 because I got
I-
dragged to
I
it. I
forgot
got
it
dragged
came
to
out,
3,
truly.
4, and 5. Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot all about it.
I did. I was telling Alex earlier, before we went live, 5 was the only one that I couldn't like sit down and focus on.
Oh
And I
my
watch
gosh.
movies constantly. And it was
Yeah.
hard for me to sit down and like give my full attention to it. I was just like,
Yeah.
my goodness. And
That-
it's
that's me too.
because
I haven't finished.
I mean, at least with 4 and 5, those are very clearly within this type of, they're nautical superheroes. And it's like, we've been sort of conditioned to see this type of film. And I was like, oh, okay. It's like I'm watching Winter Soldier. Like I've seen this. And
Yeah.
I just didn't care. Like,
Yeah.
Especially with the
have-
gap of time.
yeah.
If you think about it, like, why most people wouldn't care about it because of the absolute giant gap of time. Where the first one was what,
Yeah.
2003. Second one was 3 years later. Second one was the
Mhm.
third one was the year later after that. You have
They
a
filmed them
4-year gap.
back to back.
Yeah, then you have a 4-year gap and then a 6 or 7-year
Yeah.
gap. Like that's
Yeah.
way too much. No one cares anymore.
They
No
did
one
not.
cares.
They did not do a job. Anyways, but I don't want to get into that. I want to
But-
move on to the next one because it's already
All right. So we have to
Film.
move on. So the third one, the third most financially successful, was At World's End, which is the third film. Which is the third film, released
You can
May
write these
25th,
down.
May 25th, 2007. Opened to a total of 963 million. It has a 7.1 out of 10 out of 686,000 news reviews, a 50 out of 100 Metacritic score, and it opened up against these, which I thought was really interesting.
Wait,
Big.
Do you have a Rotten Tomatoes score?
I don't really
Oh, okay.
use like Rotten Tomatoes as an aggregate, not to be like
Okay,
hipster
just
about it,
curious.
but like, but they're all very similar. Like the Rotten
Disney Free
Tomatoes
paid for those.
percentile is all very similar to the Metacritic score.
Just curious.
So what came out alongside the third film in the franchise was Spider-Man 3, the third film in that franchise, Shrek the third film in that franchise,
Oh,
and
it's a year of threes.
and 28 Weeks Later, which I do think was just the second one. But those are the most successful films in that month, being the month of May. So I thought that was interesting that like at that point we were full on like sequels within the franchise engine.
It was a year of trilogies.
It sure was. And yeah, it was pretty nuts. This movie at the time that it was made also had the largest budget of a movie ever.
I can see it in the special effects for sure.
$300 million in 2007 money, which like sounds like a joke. It's not like the 1980s, but in 2007 we've had enough inflation where that means close to like almost $400 million, which is a lot even now. That's insane.
Bananas.
And so again, being the most expensive movie to date, the Pirates of the Caribbean film At World's End was also shot back to back after Gore Verbinski, who directed the three films, saw Peter Jackson's success with doing like Two Towers and Return of the King. So
back to back.
Yeah, so he's like, we're going to do this back to back. And so that's why they were filmed that way, which the crews, which is good for us and the filmmakers, but like actors hate it. So they were very, very ready for this to be the last film, and it wasn't the last film. It was there was two other ones. One which we've already talked about. So the third film, again, At World's End. Where does this rank for you guys?
Ties for
me, it's 4.
It's like 1.5, if that's possible. Like I said, it's some of my favorite scenes in the entire series are in that film. But it was also one of the hardest ones to get through.
That's the one where he's like walking down his ship and it's blowing up, right?
God. Oh my God.
And amazingly doesn't get hit by a single splinter the entire
and all
time.
The splinters are flying. It's an amazing scene. Like at this point, we don't care about.
Could you imagine though, Alex? You're poo-pooing the scene, but like, what would you have done if you were a youth and you just see a cannonball rip through this dude? They can't do that.
Oh,
well, the other thing
use logic.
He's walking down with his hand on the banister, and I love that. Like the second after his hand leaves, the banister is exploding.
So cool.
I mean, it was just.
I'm not
amazing.
Listen. I'm not poo-pooing the scene. I'm poo-pooing the logic of it. But I do love it being used as a meme where people are like, "This is me leaving work as like another fire starts at work," and I'm just like, "It's 5:00. I'm out of here." Like,
that is it. Yeah.
That's what I love that scene for.
We definitely got our best memes from that movie. That's for sure. Yeah, a really, really good film. Like I think overall when I watched it, but you can feel the legs coming out from underneath it. Yeah, it was like you can just tell like everyone was exhausted, and they were entirely ready to be done with this entire franchise. Gore Verbinski didn't come back for 4 and 5. Even Keira Knightley and Orlando Bloom, arguably the two other most important characters, didn't come back for 4 and 5, and they were done with it. And you can kind of tell in this film.
Yeah, and this one was so convoluted. I felt like there were 6 to 8 main characters, that all had their own agendas. And I get that was supposed to be part of the fun of it, was
Mhm.
like a Game of Thrones kind of scenario where everybody has their agendas and everybody's double crossing everybody else, but they didn't earn it. They didn't make it clear. It was so convoluted and just like, what? And I had to keep backing up because if it wasn't for this, that we were going to do this show, I would have just said, I'm done. I'm done.
Oh yeah, totally.
Visually,
think- So-
visually, they did the best job,
Mhm.
in my opinion. Visually,
Yeah.
music was top notch. It was
Hans
really
Zimmer,
great
baby.
score. It was an untouchable score. It was a great
Mhm.
score. But man, I was so sick of that movie. I was so sick.
I have-
Naomi Harris is terrible. Like I look at Naomi Harris and I'm like, sometimes I love her,
Calypso.
and
Yeah.
sometimes I hate her. And this, and by the way, the other cinematic masterpiece known as Venom: Let There Be Carnage. Like her in both of those movies made me want to die. Like
I've never seen them.
Okay, she's only in Let There Be Carnage, and in this movie, she is absolutely abysmal in it. The lore makes no sense. It's completely inconsistent all the time. Why
Mhm.
doesn't Davy Jones just have people drag him around in a wagon full of seawater all the time?
I also,
really gotta
you know
go
what?
on land. Like,
I never
it
understood
so killed me.
why he doesn't keep his heart close to him as well.
Why
Like,
does
he needs to
drop
send it
his
away.
heart
I get that
in
part.
the
I do
Marianas
get that
Trench?
part. He doesn't want it. He doesn't want it. I mean, it's very symbolic. He doesn't want it around. He doesn't want to see it. He doesn't want to deal with it. He doesn't want it around him. He doesn't want the reminder.
So he puts it.
there's a
So he puts it on
reason-
an island and makes a map
Yeah.
for it. So I
Yeah.
mean, why make the map?
Yeah, okay.
Just take the
No, it
heart
doesn't make
and
sense. You're right.
drop
It
it in
does
the
not
middle of
make
the
sense.
ocean.
But what I loved about this movie was them making Will Turner into the new Davy Jones. I thought that was
Yeah.
really, really cool.
To
And
save his
him
dad, yeah.
leaving his heart with Elizabeth Swann for her to protect. Like that was completely the opposite approach of what the Davy Jones was doing.
Right.
That it was all toxic and poisoned and messed up. And this was like a love story that I thought was really, really fitting and really, really great. Like a
Listen,
great thing to do with those characters.
It was a great thing,
Hmm.
but it was just a terrible fucking movie to do it. And I'm sorry, there's my one.
Yeah.
It was just so bad. I just
Yeah.
I laughed at the scene with him and the peanuts. Cool, the peanut,
Yeah.
whatever.
And you know who
Cute.
was unnecessary was Barbosa. Like we didn't need him.
No, we didn't need him in
we
two.
didn't-
Mhm.
Like he was there in the beginning to
He's
be
not
like
into
a foil. You know what I
He's at
mean?
the end
But
of
like
two.
we didn't after that, we didn't need him anymore. And we certainly didn't need him to be as involved as he was in 3. That was just a whole other person with a whole other
Well,
agenda that
it's
we
because
didn't
there's 3
need.
ships. They're like, we
Yeah.
need someone else for this ship.
Listen, me losing my mind. Barbosa comes back with that. No explanation. Like, Jack, we have to go to the end of the world, drop off the end of the world, do all this crazy, mystical, magical, crazy, whatever stuff they got to do to get Jack from this underworld. Because but he's not dead. He's being punished. How did Barbosa come back? I don't know. No explanation. And then they're like, why don't you just bring Johnny Depp back? Why don't you just bring, Captain Jack Sparrow back? She's like, like you did Barbosa. She's like, I can't. He was just dead. What does that mean? He was just dead. He was
There's rules,
dead.
Alex.
Yeah, okay. So then
I got
they're
that
on the
part.
ship. No, then they're on the ship. And her dad is dead. Her dad is murdered.
In a
and
boat.
And she is watching her
Throw
dead
the rope
dad
out.
float. And she's like, can I save him? She's like, no, you can't. There's nothing I can do. Why did you do it for... Sorry, I'm screaming. So you could do it for this a-hole Barbosa, this scumbag. But, like, seriously? She's watching her dead dad float
I
by her.
mean,
And she's like, bye.
Her dad's of no
Terrible.
consequence, like, to the mission.
I don't care. It's inconsistent. And Davy Jones can't walk
Of
on
course.
land unless you
We're talking pirates.
I know, but I hate it.
Oh, you ready
It's
for this?
terrible.
Never mind. It literally takes months of sailing to get from location to location they go to in the film. Yeah.
No,
Are we talking Game of Thrones season
I was
7?
like,
We're going to
it's Game of
Dragon,
Thrones.
Also, they
Dragon's
are
Rock
flat
or whatever the
earthers,
hell
yes.
it's called.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess we're just there in half an episode.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah.
there now.
Jesus. Yeah, it is.
I
I will
so much. Makes me so
die.
mad.
I will die on this hill that I think the opening scene where Johnny Depp's the peanut scene. I love it. I was
I
like,
love
it's
it.
so Johnny Depp. It's so Jack Sparrow.
It's Jack
And
Sparrow.
then the movie starts turning a little.
I like the
sour
song
from there.
too. I like that song because if anyone wants to check it out, the Wellerman. There's a band
right,
called the
Oh, yeah.
Wellerman.
Yeah.
And they do that song. They do a really good job of it. But
Alex,
Mm.
I'm gonna move on.
Please.
We're gonna.
I'm so
check
angry
your,
about
We're gonna
this
check
movie.
your blood pressure, bud.
You know what? And the
We're
thing is,
gonna
we're
check
all
it.
going to agree with you. The logic was not sound. A lot of things didn't make any sense. We are all in agreement.
Captain, these beat guys are about to shoot us. What do we do? I don't know. I'm just going to stare. I'm so decisive the whole movie, but when these guns are pointed at me, I'm just going to be like, I don't know. You stupid idiot. And but then we got the cool scene.
Then we did. We got the post Zoom meeting
I'm
scene.
done. I'm done.
Okay. Number 2 is Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. This is the 4th one. It actually earned. It was the first Pirates film to earn $1 billion at 1.04 billion, a 6.6 out of 10, 550,000 user reviews, a 45 out of 10 on Metacritic. It opened up alongside Thor.
45 out of 10 or 4.5?
45 out of 10?
45.
4.5.
Oh, sorry, 45 out of 100.
Thank you. Like, that math doesn't. It's
Producer,
Pirates of the Caribbean
not a
math.
math. I'm not a mathman. Yep.
Oh, and I forgot I was supposed to be doing this. Hold on. Say it again. What's the name of the movie?
Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. It's Pirates of the Caribbean 4, Alex, just in case you're curious.
Here it is.
There it is. Yeah.
I was supposed to do this for all the other movies.
You sure were. But yeah, it's got Penelope Cruz. You know, she's in this one. She
was in there, and
she's
she was
in the movie,
and she said words in a costume.
This movie opened up alongside Thor, The Hangover 2, Bridesmaids, and Kung Fu Panda 2. Pretty good.
Kung Fu Panda 2 is quality.
It is a good movie. Bridesmaids is fantastic. Hangover 2 is my favorite Hangover as well. It's pretty good. Pretty good month.
Panda movies, those are good.
There's 5 now. It works perfect.
Oh,
there's a 5th one. I thought
they
were doing 4. No,
it's 4 the one that's out now. Oh, okay.
Don't make me think I missed something.
Yeah, no. Just all the animated shorts, Alex.
Oh my gosh, Steve. Yes, opening scene was like, seriously.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, this film was well, okay, let's do it this way first. Where does it rank? This is again on Stranger Tides. This is the 4th film. Where does this rank for you both?
Dead last for me.
4th. Yeah, 4th.
Dead last for me as well.
Yeah.
Did you know that it was based on a book? They took the idea for the movie from a book. And you recognize the book and you recognize the story because Monkey Island, that Lucasfilm, Lucas Games game, was also based on the same book. So yeah, there was a book called On Stranger Tides, which it takes a lot of its elements from that story.
They just slapped Jack Sparrow into that story.
And a couple,
basically,
they just got a lot. They got a lot of things into there. I mean, the whole Blackbeard thing, whatever. But it's actually about like a puppeteer or something who I don't know. It's a weird story about a puppeteer who goes to Cuba to find his fortune. I don't know. Puppets and pirates.
Disney's also responsible for like the pirate verbiage that we see, like "oi," like "matey," like that voice was made for their animated shorts and there's no proof that they ever spoke like that. Yeah, there's they never spoke like that. They just sounded like normal people. If they were from France, they spoke French. So it was Disney is responsible for a lot of stuff in this world that has informed our curriculum in public schools.
And I will say this is that if you watch a show like Black Sails, you'll get more of a natural, the way that people spoke. Because it was not ahoy ye mateys. No one talks like that.
Tell me Pirates of the Caribbean is not historically accurate?
Ma'am, Caribbean. Thank you.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. That's going to have to reshape my entire worldview.
Your ship of life just got turned on that green horizon, didn't it?
I'm in the upside down now.
Nope, that's a different IP. We can't say that. But yeah, so this film was another one. The 4th film, it broke another record for films in general of being the most expensive movie ever made. $379. I'm going to round it up to 380 because it probably was closer to that. $380 million budget for this saltine cracker of a movie. It remained that for several years before it was usurped by Star Wars Force Awakens, which passed it with, I think it crossed over to the $400 million range.
Well, it's
maybe
expensive
not
to
quite.
shoot in space. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it's expensive to have a pre-written script. That's not my business.
Salty.
Salty
over there.
Oh, you got scurvy, salty dog. And here's another one. This one is worse as far as how it opened. So again, $379 million budget. It opened to $241 million domestically. That's all it made. But of course, to the rescue, when the movie was released overseas, it made over $800 million.
Shut up.
I think they were just fiending for it,
Was it
because
China again, you think?
Mm-hmm.
But there was, being 4 years of no pirate movies and them going like, "Wow, pirate guy, he's back. I love him."
I think, honestly, I think a majority of it is China. I mean, surprise, surprise, they don't have a robust film industry. They normally import their films, which, as mentioned by the gray-haired, I guess they could be either one of us, but to me earlier, they are usually doctored as well to fit a certain,
cultural norm or whatever.
Cultural norm, or honestly, not to use the capital A word, but they do meet an agenda. And when they go out in China, and it's all that shows for a long time. Because once these happened, I was really curious about the Chinese film market, and there's not a lot out there. So I only did like a day and a half of research on it, but it was essentially they release Pirates. That's the whole thing that you watch for a month. That's the only thing you can see. And then sometimes there's other stuff there, but Zone of Interest is not playing in China. They're replaying, Avatar 2. That's what's there. Because those movies are easily doctored, they're easier to manipulate than Zone of Interest, which the entirety of the film is got a perspective. I'm just using Zone of Interest, but think of any other film that's a smaller indie hit. So that really attributes to what it is, because that's all people do. They can go and see one movie, and that's all it is there. And usually the window is anywhere in between, I believe, 4 to 9 weeks of how long they have to watch one movie. So that's a long time to just watch one movie
basically
over and over.
There. Yeah.
And that's all you do. And sometimes they'll pay people to go see it. So there's a lot of, interesting data that comes in from how, where does $800 million come from? Because,
it's
there's not
just straight people wanting to go see the movie, and that's it.
Exactly. So it is an interesting metric. It's also really interesting to think about in general when you see movies like Avatar 2, right, which made $1 billion, and you're like, movie kind of sucked.
I don't know. I didn't see it.
And then all of the Fast X movies, right? Fast 7, $1 billion franchise. Fast X, $1 billion franchise. You're like, who is watching this stuff?
Yeah.
It's overseas. These movies aren't being shown in German art houses and French art houses. They've got their own industry, so they're being shown in a very particular industry. So I'm coming off my soapbox there. But yeah, just an interesting caveat for everyone. And all right, but with that, we can move into the number one highest earning Pirates of the Caribbean franchise film, which is the second film, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, released July 7th, 2006, to a total of $1.06 billion, just about over $2 million more than On Stranger Tides. It has a 7.4 out of 10 with users and a 53 out of 100 with Metacritic. It did open up. What?
Is this the highest ranked with users?
With the users, the highest ranked was Curse of the Black Pearl. And that one's by a landslide because it's got 1.2 million reviews and it's still at 8.1.
8.1, that's right. Okay.
8.1. So yeah, that's the second highest is this film. It opened up against The Following, which I think is really interesting. And it was perfectly lined to make so much money. The Devil Wears Prada,
Great
Superman Returns, Click, and Cars. Cars earned the third most. It actually Superman Returns, that's with Brandon Routh. That actually earned second most behind the film Dead Man's Chest. But
Click, by the way, can we talk about Click?
I love it. Can we please?
Okay, I just want to say something. As this is Click is the Adam Sandler film, right?
Yes, Adam Sandler, Kate Beckinsale.
Okay, so I mean, admitting this live, I wasn't exactly sober while I was watching it, but I was hysterically crying at the end of that movie. Unhinged, in the shower, ugly crying at the end of that movie.
Yeah,
so terrible.
It gets me every time, and also is like, I don't know how. Okay, let's see, 2006. Not to age myself here, but I was 13.
Yeah, I was 26.
It also was the first time I remember being like,
all my children.
Oh shit! I remember being like, "Who is this lady?" And I had the biggest crush on Kate Beckinsale in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Like that's when I tell people like my first celebrity crush, Kate Beckinsale in Click. There's like that meme that's going on. Have you seen it? It's like, oh, what's your, I forget what it says. Like, oh, what's your favorite flavor? And the audio is like vanilla, and they're like, that's such a basic bitch answer. And then they give a very specific answer. It's like, okay, well, actually, it's this. That's my answer. It's like, oh, I don't know, like Sydney Sweeney. My specific answer is Kate Beckinsale in Click, specifically in the first 2/3 of the movie, when she's making dinner and they're talking, and he's really mad at her, and she leaves, and then he goes and buys the Click machine at Bed Bath & Beyond in the Beyond section. That's my specific answer.
There.
That's your favorite flavor. Yeah, listen.
My entire personality was formed that year.
I legitimately, like, embarrassing to admit it, but yeah, I'm 26 years old watching that movie. I'm high. I'm hysterically crying at the end of Click. I was like, this is the most brutal scene. Annie would make fun of me for like years after that. She's like, "You're ridiculous. It's an Adam Sandler movie." Oh my god, so good.
Would it make you feel better if I said I was also high at 13 watching that?
Yeah.
Jeez, you guys.
I went to public school.
Tell your mom.
Don't send your kids to public school.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was great. So, anyways, back to
Dead Man's Chest. I bought it from private school, guys.
Back to Dead Man's So this film is like one of those movies that has all its merits on its own, because for at least a year and a half, the film was banned in China because there's a heavy scenes of cannibalism, which is like, and they couldn't edit it out because of, when he like goes up, there's a whole ball scene, right, where they're like spinning and everything, like that whole scene was cut, and they're like, well, we can't edit that out. So the whole film was banned. So all of the $1.04 billion was made domestically and without China. So
I mean,
that's why it's hands down the most successful financially.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you think about it, the first one was great. It was a new thing. Everyone's like, wow, this is so cool. And then all of a sudden they're like, a new one. Why wouldn't you be excited to see it? I was excited to see it.
It was solid.
Listen, I'm not going to say I loved that movie other than like Bill Nighy's like amazing acting at all times, every time.
I do Bill
my
Nighy.
favorite. I love him. But yeah, it was a big deal, and the special effects were still great.
Yeah.
Still fantastic.
They still stand up.
Again, it accomplished another feat that is pretty incredible, even by Liza, even by today's standards, and that is, it is the first film to ever reach $100 million in an opening weekend. I think Endgame broke this. Oh no, I think actually one of the Twilights beat it. And it was like Harry Potter, and then Twilight beat it before that. But the very first film to ever do it was Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. It earned $135 million in 2 days, Friday and Saturday. That is when they used to have previews on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't even, it probably counts in some of the stragglers when the time changes for Sunday, but in 2 days, that is insane. So yeah, it's hands down the most successful. This is not necessarily a fact. This might be speculation, but timing line. The,
I just read
the
it. I read
timing
it.
lines up is all I'm saying. So
Is this gonna be about
this
how birds
film,
aren't real?
this film came out in 2006. At the 20-minute mark, you can hear Orlando Bloom say, "I can do this all day." So he says that. This is also a film that early on in filming, Chris Evans, you can go on and see some of his TMZ and Hollywood Reporter articles, and he had said that he wished he had gotten into this film like franchise, right? He's like, that would have been really fun. I think he was pretty close on the heels of Fantastic Four. I don't know if he'd done Scott Pilgrim yet. I don't remember when that came out. But I think that he later used "I can do this all day" after hearing Orlando Bloom say it in this film.
Because he wrote the
Do you really
line.
think Chris Evans had his own control of his own line on a huge, massive franchise?
Well, it's massive. It's like notoriously that they think that like he ad-libbed that.
Oh,
Do
Yeah.
they?
hold on, I'll ask.
Do they,
Let me
Paul?
ask
Or is
him.
this more of your? Is this more of your?
That's it.
Is this more of your conspiracy theories? Like,
That's it. That's
Okay.
all
Okay.
the box offices breakdowns. And also, if you've been keeping along at home, keeping count at home, it's number 2 for me.
it's number 2 for me.
Okay, yeah. Me
Alex,
too.
do you realize that we had
right
identical lists? Because I've been writing down yours as well. Because
Really?
I'm a host and I'm guiding us
Yeah.
through this show. And yeah, me and you had identical lists.
So we both thought
Look at
that
you guys.
because I'm a producer, I'm doing a great job of bringing up the graphics at the right time. That this was your
You
number
really
2.
are.
Wait, leave this up. Doesn't Orlando Bloom look a little bit like here on. No one needs to see me. Doesn't Orlando Bloom look a little bit like Antonio Banderas?
A little.
He kind of looks a little Spanish there. I think it's just his little baby mustache.
It's his little mustache and his little goatee.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas. He's from
Okay.
Spain, right? That's Europe. It's right there.
Sure.
Anyways,
I have
Geography.
some pirate news.
Okay.
You have pirate news?
Do have pirate related news.
Okay, what's your pirate news?
Also, put us back. I feel
Oh,
very
yeah.
here.
Permiso.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Better.
Do you remember Bald Guys in Bad Movies? The guys that came on the show with us.
I
The
do,
guys who have that podcast. They did an episode that was all about the pirate movie, and they had me on the show.
I listened to it. It's great.
So fun. It was so fun. It was great. They
How-
did a great review of it.
I'm gonna ask you some questions like I didn't listen
Yeah.
to it already. How unhinged were you when talking about the pirate film? Because Mike and Troy, Mike and Troy, yeah, they had some thoughts and feelings about this. But it is a pretty crazy film, which I've heard. I still have not seen it. I probably maybe I'm in a pirate movie. I'll see it. I don't. Now all we do is watch movies.
Yeah, no, but like now that we've watched all these pirates movies, I think you should finish by watching that movie.
It's not
I
going to
may do
happen,
that.
but I think you should do it, Paul. And get back to me.
All right. So
on your
how did
regrets.
So how did it go for people? And then we can link them. Let me get it.
Yeah. Get their stuff. That
Yeah.
when I got on the call with them, we hadn't started recording yet. It was me going like this, like, tell me when you're ready for me to start talking. Because they're like, don't say anything yet. I was like, I have so many thoughts. So one of the things that I love most about this movie is convincing people to watch the movie and then hear about what they thought of the movie. If I have my druthers, I would watch the movie with you so that I can sit and go like this and watch you.
Make
watch
sure
the
you're
movie.
responding to it.
Yes, because I love watching people's reactions to watching this movie, and they said they definitely enjoyed it to a point. Like it was definitely a huge mess, but they really seemed to like it, and we really enjoyed talking about it. And
Okay.
they took that Christopher Atkins cameo and edited it a little creatively to make it a little interesting at the end.
That's right.
But yeah,
That's right. That did happen.
and it was they definitely enjoyed it, and I did recommend one other movie to them that is number 2 underneath pirate movie for me that I did not subject everybody to, that they are going to cover, and I might go on and do that one with them as well. We'll see. It's called Two of a Kind.
Okay.
Olivia Newton-John, John Travolta. It's a train wreck. It's amazing. It has
do I
God
think
and
I've
the
seen that?
devil in it and some
Yeah.
angels. Like it's just
I
terrible,
feel like
and I
I've
love
seen
it.
Never a bad
Mhm.
time to listen to some John Traw.
Yeah.
Yeah. I dropped the
So
link
yeah, it
for
was really
everyone.
fun.
It's
Yeah.
the Spotify link because it's the quickest I could pull up. So the link's down there. You can actually just click it right here. Just click it on your screen.
Yep.
Now, how many of you
And
just did
also,
that?
yes,
It's
it
time to
is,
go to
Laura,
bed.
a new segment, Pirate News.
I didn't click
It's
it.
just where you just and that's where Autumn just hijacks the show to talk about stuff.
And since we're
That's
talking
pirate
about
news.
things, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join our Facebook group, Fandom Socialites.
Yeah.
See, there you go. And obviously, you're already here at Fandom Social on YouTube, but you're going to do that, like, comment,
Yeah.
subscribe, since we're posting
And
things.
I didn't get to say in the beginning because I jumped in the middle of the show, but I have really missed hanging out with all of you guys. Really missed being on the show for the last. It feels like it's been more than 2 months since I've been on the show.
It's been
But
2
things have
months.
calmed back
Okay.
down.
1
It's
week since
been-
you're looking.
36 minutes.
But work was really, really hectic for the last quarter of the year. And so I just wasn't able to do it. But now things have calmed down. I can get back into the routine and get back to doing the show. And I've got some ideas for some new things. And I'm excited to come back. So thanks, you guys, for
new
letting me come
things.
back after I abandoned ship. Huh? Ship? Like a because of the pirates.
Walk
Like
the
Pirates.
plank.
Yeah.
Scurvy. I already said my salty dog. I wrote down a list of phrases that I wanted to use, and I got through all of them, honestly. But
That's
yeah,
great, by the
welcome
way.
back.
Pirate
I know
Champ.
you've been
Listen to them
super
all day.
busy. So yeah, welcome back again. We've been holding down the fort a little bit. Holding down the fort, I think, is probably a pirate term. And yeah, we're ready to get started. Do some more deep dives. I know some of you guys have reached out about doing some more of those. Those are just tricky because they require a lot of research. So they become
we have to work together on that. So,
so that they come correct. But yeah, so before we go into our outro, let's very, very quickly do our content potluck. Autumn, I don't know if you brought anything because you were kind of like, getting everything sorted, but you can just enjoy the potluck.
I'm going to enjoy.
You're going to enjoy the potluck. We're going to start with now, Autumn, this is a collection of memes or videos or what have yous that either myself, Daniel, you in the future, Alex, and even some people in the chats will bring to the potluck and share with the class.
Yep.
So with that, we're going to start with Philip Z reaches out and he's very excited. He always sends some. So this is his first one. These are things that are just making him laugh. They're selfish, right? It's like when you go to a potluck and you're like, I made, creamed corn with, with honey ham in it. And you're like, all right, well, only you like that. And it's cold.
Yeah.
But you brought it nonetheless. So this
That's
is what Philip brought. It says, got into an argument with my 4-year-old about whether the word dragon starts with a J or a D. And now I'm just repeating the word dragon to myself, wondering why it doesn't sound any different.
Dragon.
I love it.
Dragon.
Yeah. Same thing.
Now, welcome. I was doing this pre-show while I was writing the outline. So yeah. Okay. Here's Philip's other one. I just learned the hard way. This building doesn't have a Darth Vader button on the elevator. That will call the fire police.
Love it.
Yes.
I'm going to add one.
Okay, and here is one I brought. This isn't a two-parter, okay? So can't stop thinking about how silly executioner swords look. You can flip burgers with that thing. Look at that blade that's going to end my life. Dog, I'm not going to die honorably. And then part 2 of this is, look what centuries of inbreeding have done to this once noble breed. This is why you should buy from ethical sword breeders. It's dumb, and it's been making me laugh. And then where was the other one that I did? Oh, this one I thought would be fun. Because do you ever watch a film to the credits and pick a name you think, hey, Clint Youngren, assistant bear trainer number 3? I bet you thought no one would see you down here. Nice job, pal.
Yeah.
As someone who's at the movies 2 or 3 times a week, I do this all the time because I love the credits and I'm like, hey, key assistant grip number 7, Jonathan Willowgrave. Killing it, bud.
I like seeing, like I also like looking for like just random like names where you see like a bunch of people with like the same like Jurgens, like
Yeah.
like Swedish last name. But like when I go see Marvel movies like Guardians of the Galaxy or anything filmed in Atlanta, like I know that I'm going to see my ex-girlfriend Melanie's name in the thing because she like went off, she like dodged a bullet and like went off into the film industry.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So yeah,
I
I
love doing it.
I
But
see new things added.
yeah.
I
Okay.
added
So
2 new things.
all right.
do
So
And it's in order. In order.
okay. So I'm gonna add this one. If this one's you, Autumn, just speak up.
It's nope.
Nope,
Well,
that's
this
me.
one-
I added that one.
Okay.
I just
right now.
I feel like this is the fan. This is the not real people motto. I can easily direct a critically acclaimed movie. I just don't feel like it right now. Yeah, I did put in 3 more memes.
All right, here we go, Alex. Next one. You're up.
I love this. Disco Steve in the house.
Oh, this has got to be Europe, right? Look how flimsy that house was.
Yeah, look at that.
That's why American houses are so strong. It's all the asbestos. This would never happen in our houses.
Yeah, it would never happen. All the poisonous chemicals. And then this
little musical notes.
So great.
All right, last one, Aronowitz.
All right. Where's the Oscar nom for my incredible performance in pretending to like my job? See,
and scene.
I feel like these are all relative to our show.
They are definitely relative. All right, Autumn, you up?
Which one's me? Yeah.
I wonder which one's you.
My husband successfully teaching me football. Me knowing I get to plan its Taylor Swift Super Bowl party.
Oh God!
And the next meme is the invitation to that party.
Oh,
Super Bowl.
my
Did
God.
you see Autumn? This is great. There,
Somebody, go ahead.
I was gonna say the actual. I think it was either like CBS Sports, Fox, or maybe the actual NFL Instagram made a Super Bowl. Like the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl in the style of a friendship bracelet. It was so good. I was like, that's pretty fantastic.
That's pretty
Swifties
fantastic.
on TikTok are going nuts talking about these Super Bowl parties that they're telling their husbands, boyfriends, dads, like, yeah, I'll throw your party for you. Don't even worry about it. And they're like, have all these plans to make it. They're going to call each quarter an era instead of a quarter. And they're going to hand out friendship bracelets at each, like everyone gets one each quarter, each era. They're going to get one. And they've got all the decor planned out. And it's going to be delightful. I love
As
it.
someone who has been
Delightful is a word.
to multiple Super Bowl parties, if someone put in a little bit of effort like that, I'm in. I don't care. I don't care if it's Taylor Swift. It doesn't matter at all. I just want to watch the game, and I get a bracelet. I mean, it's a
I
wrap.
just say like,
As
go
long as the
crazy.
food's not Taylor Swift themed, great. Because I feel like she doesn't season her food. After I seeing her ketchup,
Probably not.
her like, do you see her like perfect circles of ketchup and mustard? I don't know how this got on my algorithm, but I was just like, yeah, no Taylor Swift.
I haven't seen it.
Definitely not.
Listen, as long as you've got football, as long as you've got wings, as long as you've got beer, as long as you've got all this
You
stuff.
can decorate the rest of it however you want.
No, as long as you have all those things, no matter what you add to it, it's all a bonus because I'm not going to show up in anyways because I don't give a crap. And do not invite me to, this goes to anybody that I know. Hello, do not invite me to your Super Bowl party. I don't want to hang out with you. Goodbye.
Okay.
So I'll
Jeez.
just rip up the invitations. All right.
Yes,
Fine.
please. Thank you.
I was making you
Very-
a bracelet, but
Not very
well.
Disco Steve of you.
No, Disco Steve is DJing the party. Then I'll show up.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know.
In the
Maybe,
house.
maybe check if he's Disco Steve. Seems like he's on Whippets.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our show, everyone. Thank you so much for joining.
We did
Autumn,
it.
welcome back. Alex, as
Thank
always,
you.
great job. And how's your blood pressure? How you feeling?
It peaked up a little bit, towards
Okay.
the end over there, and I didn't horrify any of you with my other potluck content. I'll save that for after the show.
Oh, no, you can do it now. I'm
It's
surprised you did
Social
it.
After dark.
Do it.
You ready? All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, fine. I'll do it. I'll terrify everybody. So, this is horrible, but Daniel, Autumn, and Paul, I have crossbred you with Jack Sparrow. Daniel's not here. So this is Jack Sparrow, Daniel. I did it in one of these.
Look at Nicola.
He's a total Ken with the 2 pairs of glasses.
Look
I did one of these face combiners. Autumn, you're gonna love yours. Very
I
sexy.
can't wait.
This is Autumn Jack Sparrow with the face tattoo.
Terrifying.
And
What is happening to me?
and of course there's Paul Jack Sparrow.
That looks nothing like me.
So
It looks
At least the other
exactly
two looked
like you. What are you
exactly like
talking
Autumn
about?
and Daniel.
yeah. So there you go. There's a
about you?
combining of the faces. When I was trying,
Wait,
it literally
back
broke.
up.
Wait,
Wow.
Pull mine back up.
None.
It looks like I'm handing out headshots outside of CBS Studios. I can do a quirky one. I've got 1,000 of these inside the trunk of my Hyundai Sonata. Please take
We're
some.
like,
Yeah.
my
The
God.
actual face combining thing broke when I tried to
Yeah,
do mine.
no shit. It looks so
I
we're like Festival Daniel. Go back to dance.
Daniel's is great.
Daniel's does look
It's
great.
100% Festival Daniel.
Yeah, I mean the double glasses is like this thing. It's a whole
I
thing. I
love
love
it.
it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his readers and his cheaters, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I love it. I love
That
it.
was amazing. And
Yeah.
kind of hostile and aggressive, I would say.
Yeah.
A little offensive.
Yeah.
She said,
agree.
"Listen, that an extra on our flag means death." Yes. And after the
Yes.
show, much like that show, will be canceled. So
Yes.
thank you all so much. We'll be back next week, which is the 8th of February, which
Yeah.
is Jesus Christ, we're already in February. That's fun.
Yeah.
Looking like we're probably going to do a pop culture news and headline show, and then we've got another show after that one, and then the one after that, somewhere this month, we're going to do another box office breakdown episode, not Not Real People episode, and we're going to be breaking down the 5 most successful rom-com films. So
Nice. For Valentine's Day? That would be
Maybe.
good. That would have to be next week.
that, I mean,
Yeah.
Because
how
next week's
committed are you
Thursday.
guys to Sparkle Motion?
I'm not.
I mean,
Not. Okay.
Not.
I'm not.
Not at all.
Well, that would be
Yeah.
Valentine's Day would be the 13th,
Is
right?
It's the 13th, yeah.
So that's Tuesday.
Right, so that's the next week's episode is the closest one to Valentine's Day because, well, I guess the other one's like after Valentine's Day, but it's better to celebrate before.
It's good to do this live. Or we could just
Yeah, let's
forget.
figure this out live. Hey,
Let's just go live on Valentine's Day.
it's on the
Let's
best.
just go live on Valentine's
Yeah.
Day and talk about Parks and Rec for like 5 hours. I think that sounds great.
Okay, that's a great idea.
Have
I
fun.
will-
Let us know if you
I'm
need any
there.
help.
Yeah, I'm there.
I do want to talk Parks
You
and Rec, though.
enjoy. I'm
Dwayne,
into
that's the
rom-coms, so-
purpose of this show, is
Yeah,
to join
broaden
in
our
and watch it
horizons.
with us. Dwayne, I do love Dwayne because, again, every single time we do any of these, he's like, "I've never seen it, not gonna see it."
Not
I
gonna
never
see
watch it.
Love
But
it.
I'll watch
Listen
you
to
guys
it.
talk about it.
Yeah,
Yeah, because it is like you've seen it, right? So,
Yeah.
I guess.
well,
I've seen it enough. All right.
thank you,
we did it.
thank you,
It's time to walk
mateys.
the plank.
Mateys sounds weird. I feel like that's like lame.
Mhm.
That's like lame pirate.
Bilge Rats. Bilge Rats.
Bill dress. I said
Cockroaches?
scallywags, and Alex said I can't say
Yeah.
that.
I'm gonna call you guys. We can be Bilge Rats.
I
It's fine
can
with
say
us.
scallywags because my grandfather was a scallywag. You can't say it.
You guys
Oh,
can
that's
say
our
that.
word. Okay. Well, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. We appreciate you. If there's any other of these franchises or top 5 films you think would be interesting, it can be actors, it can be genres, it could be anything you think would get Alex's blood pressure, was it 180 over 70? So whatever can do it. Let us know. Drop it in the group. DM us. However, there's a lot of different ways to get a hold of us. Thank you all so much. We'll see you guys on the 8th for a pop culture news and headline show. And with that, we'll leave you guys all with the incredible dual glasses face of
Yeah.
Pirate Daniel. Thank you all so much.
Oh.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.